I want to try to be as accurate as possible, given how serious and severe this case is. So I've made the case that Kyle has been almost completely silenced. I am essentially correct, but I do want to note two very huge exceptions. There are two documentaries, sort of these real crime documentaries. I'd ask people to seek those out. One of them really is about 3 victims of Scientology, but Kyle is very prominent in those. I also want to be very accurate in terms of he has received some support on Twitter from some people I criticized, so I want to be very clear there as well. Again, we should have a lot more attention, but I want to be clear about who has and who has not been paying attention to Kyle. And in this video, I'm just going to do tribute as well as unload some critical information for people who still want to learn more and want to help Kyle's mother garner more attention onto this very sad tragedy. Kyle was visiting his father, who was a hardcore Scientologist. He was just visiting, and the mother did call ahead of time to ask whether that would be an issue. It seemed it would not be an issue. Kyle was, quote, taking drugs. He suffered from mild depression, and he was just receiving some medication. But if you know Scientology, they are very alarmist over medication. So the exact reason why Kyle died, or even who killed him, but the point is that with this case, there are many, many mysteries. Where is the bullet? Motive? How did he die? Where he was placed? And the people involved as possible guilty parties. One of them is the sister of David Miscavige, who is, to put it mildly, extremely powerful in the church. And the people in contacting Kyle's mother were Scientology people. The police did, at best, an extremely incompetent and very lackluster investigation. And it does seem like outright lies by the detectives were put into police reports. It is just a very stunning case of justice not being done. The exact motives, again, unclear, and I don't want to overstate what I do know. There is a lot we don't know, and that's the point. We should have some clarity on the very basics, but with this case, just a lot of question marks. And unfortunately, it's pretty obvious because of the people involved. Scientology people and people linked to the Miscavige family. And if you know David Miscavige, when his family is involved, he is extremely authoritarian and brutal. He demands complete power and control and obedience. It gets even more sad that Denise was actually subsequently arrested for drugs. So a lot of vile hypocrisy and lying going on with not just the Scientology and the church, but their allies in Florida. And my spotlight here is on Kyle and what happened to him. So I'm not here to throw shade at various creators, but I do have to unfortunately be very brutal that many people who have very large platforms have been remarkably silent about this issue. And I hope we can ask them very calmly why they are not giving attention to this case in particular when they keep saying they want to stand up for victims. But this is a very, very large case of miscarriage of justice, but very, very little attention. But to be fair, Rabbit did a small section. I hope she does more, and hope some other creators do more. But at this moment, Kyle's fate does seem to be locked in this spiral of silence. But Kyle's mother has maintained a website. She is active on social media. I will put the links below. Again, I'm not asking anyone for money or even to follow her. I just am asking you to do a little bit more probing and keep him in mind and just ask yourself, why are so many other victims being prominently shown that he, unfortunately, is seemingly forgotten? And why he's forgotten, I'm still not clear, but unfortunately I can guess why, and it's not looking good for Scientology, but we have to be brutally honest. It also may be a bit of a shameful legacy on the quote-unquote anti-Scientology side.